So tell us about the characters that you gave voice to in Monsters University.
My character's name's Sully, which is a nickname for James P. Sullivan. He's a monster, and his job is a scarer. And what they do is hop out of closets, scare kids, collect that energy, and use it for whatever the heck they use it for. And he comes from a long line of scaring monsters. In this movie, he is in college and thinks he's got the world by the tail and runs into this gentleman.
I'm Mike Wazowski, once again, proudly. Little one-eyed green guy with a big heart and a lot of sass to him. He's a charming, crazed little individual who just wants to be what he wants to be, which is a scarer. From the time he was little, when we meet him in the first movie, he's now 17 years old, and he's forced to live with this guy. They're reluctant roommates, and they end up having a great friendship.
So what did you guys have to do to dust off the characters and to take them back in time to college?
I watched the first movie again just to hear him. I knew who he was and his frantic energy, and try to harness that into who he was before that. And it was, it was one or two passes with a couple of lines, and then once I hear his voice and we're together, then it's a pair of slippers.
Yeah, it's the same deal with me. It's like riding a bike with Depends on now. I had to hear the character in my head again and make a couple passes, and I was there. And it's because it's so much fun to do. I think that's why it was so easy. The world that these guys inhabit is so well imagined and real in many ways to me.
Right. How did Mike and Sully meet, and then what kind of relationship do they have initially?
Well, they meet in this fraternity house. Sully has kidnapped this, what's actually a little pig, who is the mascot of a rival fraternity. And he brings him in the room, and we have to chase him around. And that's the first time that we meet. And I know my guy's a little put off by him for a couple of reasons. One, he's tall and he's good looking and he's got fur, and I have this sort of armadillo-like skin, and I'm little, and he's interrupting my flow.
Yeah, I think he's kind of a stick in the mud, a square peg, a square man. He's real L7. I'm Mr. With It. Everything's got to be right now, and yeah, my guy's a little selfish.
So how does their relationship change as the movie progresses?
They find they need each other, and it's not easy for Sully because he thinks he's got all the answers, and he sure doesn't.
Right. Who are the Uzma Kappas?
They're sort of the Revenge of the Animated Nerds, and they're lovely guys who don't have much scaring talent just by the genetics of it. And Sully and Mike whip them into shape and make them believe in themselves and go up against the really more gifted, scary fraternity and in this what's called the scare games. But I think it's a beautiful thing in the movie that Mike won't let them quit on themselves, and neither will Sully, and so that becomes a very strong point in the movie, that you love this group of misfits who turn out to be the cool guys.
It's a good lesson in teamwork and belief.
Yeah. Why is the college experience such a great setting for a comedy like this?
I think it's a perfect setting for a comedy like this because the first one came out 12 years ago. So most of those kids were 6 or 7 when they loved Monsters Incorporated. Now they're the same age that we are, so they can identify with them much more. We're not the scary guys in the closet that they, imagined would be. That we're now them, and we're going through the same things that they are. And audiences of all ages will love it because of that. Because it becomes about something that way.
It's that time of life when you're just kind of still in a rough form. All the edges aren't sanded. There's a lot of whittling down that needs to be done, and it catches them at a perfect time in their life to meet.
What's it been like working together again?
Been brilliant.
Two of you?
Just great. There's a lot of laughs, and the energy's good. It makes you feel like you're doing something worthwhile.
Yeah, and when we have the laughs are great. The camaraderie is fantastic, but when we also have tender moments that we can really act, and they're well-written scenes, that we can really give more than you may think can be in an animated movie, but that only exists really in a Pixar world.
So do you have the opportunity to improvise?
Oh, sure. We always go off. We get what they want,
Right.
and then we love the how-abouts. And John is extremely patient with me sometimes because Mike will just go, and he'll, it's just tape. Well, it's not even tape anymore.
What he thinks of patience is me not trying to laugh on Mike. I have to swallow my tongue and turn red. It's so funny.